What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, oh boy, you know, I actually recorded a response to this the day that it happened, and I then followed up and made that video where I was talking about YouTubers, you know, coming together to stand by each other, and I obviously didn't mean to all agree, because I was like, if we all agree, disagree, whatever, we need to stand together to make sure that we're not being silenced and deplatformed. And I didn't want to release it because, I don't know, I wanted to focus on that. But this thing continues to get worse and worse. And with my platform here, and our subscribers have demanded that I cover this topic, and it's something I'm very knowledgeable on because I've followed Collider for a long time. And I'm a fan of Kristian Harloff, at least I have been for a long time. And I do have some things that I can add to this, and that definitely frustrate me about the way he's going about this. So this video has been taken down from the YouTube channel. Shout out to Film Gob. I still don't know if Film Gob hates me because I shit on the DCEU all the time, and I know Film Gob loves the DCEU, and I hate Zack Snyder's vision, but whatever. I love Film Gob. One of these days, Film Gob's gonna do something and make a video about me. I know it. I know it's gonna happen, Film Gob. But anyway, all right. There's a lot here. There's a lot here that I want to address. Let me be clear. I have always been a fan of Kristian Harloff. I think Kristian knows more about Star Wars than I do. I know Kristian has been a longtime Star Wars fan. So that's what's so surprising about some of his comments and the way he's going about this. It's very surprising because I know this guy is a passionate and knowledgeable longtime Star Wars fan. So to me, this is kind of showing what Disney has done to Star Wars since they've taken it over. They have turned this into a, if you're not with us, you're against us mentality, that you have to kiss our ass constantly if you want to get into these events. And for Kristian Harloff to make the comment, I've been busting my ass being a Star Wars fan for 5 years. I am a fan of a lot of things. I'm a sports fan, football, baseball, basketball. Back in the day, I was a baseball fan. Video games, movies, television, whatever, man. I'm a fan of a lot of things. At no point have I ever used anything remotely close to I've been busting my ass being a fan. That mentality is so indicative of what Disney has done to Star Wars. You have to actually earn your fandom with Disney. You have to earn it by kissing their ass. It's unreal. But there's more to this. So let's listen to what Kristian has to say first, and then we're going to talk.
I'm going to address this once and then be done with it. So on Frosty, Heidi, and Frank this morning, and we laughed because they said they're giving away tickets to Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge. And today I walked in and Roka's like, "Oh, here we're going to talk about Jedi Council. Was like, do you want to leave with this or Galaxy's Edge?" I go, "We're not talking about Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. Not talking about it." I go, "You know what I'm going to talk about Galaxy's Edge in 2 years when I go."
Yeah.
Because am I a little butthurt? No, I'm a lot butthurt.
Yeah.
So you refuse to talk about a major piece of Star Wars news because you didn't get invited. There's so much to unpack with this. There's so much. What makes you feel like you're entitled to be invited? And how does that define your Star Wars fandom? I'm blown away by this. Absolutely blown away. But again, this is what Disney's done to Star Wars. But let's continue.
Business sense, to where arguably the Star Wars show itself is the show because that is the Lucasfilm approved Star Wars show, and that's the show. I think that we, Jedi Council, has been one of the leading Star Wars voices for the last 5 years.
I would agree with that, by the way. I used to love Collider Jedi Council when they had Harloff, when they had Campia, when they had Tiffany Smith, the great Schnepp, Mark Ellis, Jeremy Johns. Those were the golden days. Now, not so much.
So I was confused, and this is, and I want to make it clear that there's a different branch that between like the marketing. Like there was a writer, freelance writer from Collider that was brought, and then she brought another writer from Collider. Jedi Council was not invited at all. So reached out, said, hey, we really would like to promote it. We'd like to talk about it. People who don't do any views on YouTube or very small sites. Yes.
So people that don't do views on YouTube. I want to stop right there for a moment. So let's talk about views since you want to talk about views. So I pulled up Collider's numbers here on Social Blade. 6.4 million views in the last 30 days. 8,000 subs in the last 30 days. Social Blade ranking 23,000. That's a multi-million-dollar studio with very well-paid and very knowledgeable talent. Huge brand backing them up, and that's the numbers they're pulling. So let's go to Geeks and Gamers. 8.4 million views, 15,000 subs, doubling your subs, and 2 million more views than you. And a Social Blade ranking that is 12,000 to your 23,000. Want to talk about views, Kristian? We can talk about views.
And they said no.
Well, originally I did not. There was just no invite that came for all the media.
They said you asked to go, and they said no.
Well, originally I did not. There was just no invite that came for all the media, and then I just followed up once and said, "Hey, so yes, but
did you get a response?"
No." And so then I said, I'm not following up again. But I also said that I just don't. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go as a fan, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I want to go. But
you are a fan. And you're acting like that it's a chore for you to go as a fan. Oh my God.
I'm not going to promote it anymore. I'm not going to talk.
I'm not going to promote it and I'm not going to talk about it because I didn't get invited. Are you like, are people understanding what he's admitting? He's admitting everything that we have ever said about these people. That they are only covering up the disaster known as The Last Jedi and Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy's job as the president of Lucasfilm and how she has destroyed Star Wars. Rian Johnson destroyed Star Wars. They have absolutely not wanted to talk about this in the hopes to get invited to different events for Star Wars. They have sold their fandom to Disney. They have sold their soul fandom to Disney. It's obvious.
Talk about it. I'm thinking more business sense than anything else too. If you know there's all these shows out there and like the sites are out there, why wouldn't you invite?
You're not
Jedi
thinking
Council?
in business sense, though.
I am though, because there's another reason. I don't want to report on other people's reports. I don't want to say like, well, Jermaine Lucier, who goes to fucking everything, he reported on this, so I'm going to go off his report.
If you had been invited and you,
guess what? I'm not. I've been busting my fucking ass being a Star Wars fan for 5 fucking years.
I feel the same way about.
I've been.
Again, being a fan requires no work. Being a fan is about loving this stuff, following it, and being honest about it. That's what it's about. And
been called shill. I get screamed at. So let this one. Let me be a fucking shill for this one. Let me go and experience this fucking thing. And maybe I don't even like it, but I wanted to go.
I completely agree.
I wanted to go, and the fact that it wasn't even. It would have been a thing.
And this is the key point that we're going to get into right here. All right. The final thing that he says is this is going to be what we're going to focus on in this video. So listen to this final 20 seconds.
I wanted to go, and the fact that it wasn't even. It would have been a thing. You know what? I would have still covered it if they wrote back and we said, "We're sorry we missed you on this one. Our spots are all full at the moment. Thank you for promoting us in general."
No response.
No response, and it's like, fuck off.
Now, I think we need to listen to this one more time.
Spots are all full at the moment. Thank you for promoting us in general.
No response.
No response, and it's like, fuck off.
Okay, now, before we get further into this, I want to say that I've had a lot of YouTubers and a lot of high-profile personalities reach out to me, and we've had discussions. I've had people from Lucasfilm talk to me. I've had people from Disney talk to me. And I have always kept their our conversations 100% confidential because I appreciate the trust that they have put in me and Geeks and Gamers. And some of them you've seen talk to me here on the channel and in the comments or whatever else. And some of them you haven't, and you never will until those people determine that they want me to go public with that information. So what I'm about to show you is something that I've done on more than a few occasions, and when the people follow up and, you know, show some at least halfway amount of decency and respect for what I'm trying to do, that goes a long way with me. Now, I wouldn't be talking about this if Kristian didn't make that final comment there, but he made this final comment about it would have been different if they would have followed up with me, responded to me, and said, thank you, man. Thank you for all of your promotion, and we're sorry. We'll get you next time. But since they didn't, his exact words were F them. Right? Okay. Well, let's go back to July 10th of 2018. Kristian Harloff decided to follow the Geeks and Gamers account on Twitter. This was back when I was getting a lot of traction for my anti-Last Jedi videos and my Kathleen Kennedy videos. I was getting a lot of traction. He decided to follow. Well, my social media team is always keeping tabs on what's going on. I know what people say about me. I know what people say about Geeks and Gamers. Myself and my team, we sit there and laugh about it because we're like, these people are crazy. Like, they're absolutely insane. But we follow this stuff. When Kristian followed our account, people pay attention to these things. And people on social media started saying, Kristian Harloff, he's part of the whatever labels they're throwing at me and Geeks and Gamers. I was seeing it. My team was showing me these things. So I decided I would reach out to Kristian and let him know, just as a sign of respect and courtesy. Hey, Kristian. We don't know each other particularly well. I'm a huge fan of yours. Since you're following my website account, people are now trying to weaponize that to go after you. It's part of this insane Star Wars culture war going on. These people are looking for anything to create controversy. The reason I'm messaging you is because I highly respect you. If you need to distance yourself from my page, feel free to do so. No hard feelings. I don't want to see you get caught up in all of this nonsense going on. I'm fine being part of it, but I just wanted to give you a friendly heads up as to what's going on. Jeremy at D-Day Cobra. I then said, like, of course, none of them, yeah, just, you know, talking about the charity events and the positive things we do that nobody wants to mention. And so what does he do? Well, let's just one more time, okay?
Maybe I don't even want it. I wanted to go. And the fact that it wasn't even, it would have been a thing, you know what, I would have still covered it if they wrote back and we said, we're sorry we missed you on this one. Our spots are all full at the moment. Thank you for promoting us in general.
No response.
No response. And it's like, you know, fuck off.
So there was absolutely no reason for me to do this. None. I simply did this out of respect in private. And I have not talked about this message for over a year because there was no need to. Did I think when he unfollowed with no response, did I think that's kind of a dick move? Of course I did. Whatever. It is what it is. It wasn't no big deal. But I did think, I was like, it's kind of a dick move, dude. Like, I was just trying to give you a heads up as to, like, what following my account might bring you. I didn't have to do that. I did that out of respect. I even told you I was a fan. And I wasn't worth a response from the great Kristian Harloff. Again, is what it is. Not really a big deal. But when you hear him say that no response means to F off, it's interesting how he doesn't live by that same philosophy. You know, Kristian, I guess now maybe I'm worthy of your attention. I know I wasn't worthy of your attention when I sent this message, apparently. But I get a lot of messages on Twitter. My inbox is completely open. I can't respond to 5% of them. I try. At least I read most of them. It's impossible. And you probably get 5 times as many as I do. So you understand that it's kind of impossible to expect people to just respond. But the entitlement that he's bringing to this of, I can't believe that they didn't respond to me. Oh, if they would have responded to me, things would have been differently. This is horrible, man. Again, this is showing what Disney's business model with Star Wars has done to Star Wars fandom. It has pushed people to not care about Star Wars and only care about the perks that Star Wars brings. It's so they can get on social media and they can take selfies and they can post to go, look how important I am because I'm at Galaxy's Edge. Look how important I am. I'm at the premiere for Episode 9. It's not about honoring Star Wars. It's not about holding the people that are giving us Star Wars content accountable for the garbage that they're producing. You know, I mean, I say unpopular things to my audience. You see that right there? Battlefront 2. I've been preaching about Battlefront 2 since the day I bought it. I love Battlefront 2. Now, everybody's starting to come around to Battlefront 2 now because the game's gotten significantly better. I've loved it since day one. My audience hates when I say that, but I always have, because that's just how I feel. Now, people out there will tell you, oh, Jeremy just hates everything Star Wars because it makes a lot of money. Well, I mean, I could be making hate videos on Battlefront 2. I could have been making hate videos for the last year and a half, but I didn't because I don't hate Battlefront 2. I think Battlefront 2 does a good job of honoring Star Wars. I don't like the business model behind it, but I like the video game, and that's really all I'm there for, is to play the damn video game. Kathleen Kennedy has done a terrible, terrible, terrible job at running Lucasfilm. Star Wars is a shell of itself, and that's even too generous at this point to call it a shell of itself. What Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy have done to Star Wars is absolutely unforgivable. But Kristian Harloff was willing to sit there and overlook it because he was getting press passes. And the moment he doesn't get press passes, you see his true feelings come out. This is what Disney has done to Star Wars. If you are willing to praise their garbage, you are going to most likely benefit from being at press junkets and getting into big events. Well, I'm not worried about that. And that's why Geeks and Gamers is getting more views from me sitting in my pool house on my $60 webcam. And you've got your multi-million-dollar studio and all of your paid talent and all of the glitz and glamour and all the celebrity interviews. And I'm just an asshole sitting in a pool house with a cheap-ass webcam getting more views than you. Why? Because I'm not bought and paid for by the mouse. I'm an annual pass holder at Walt Disney World. Go look and see how much that costs every year. Why do I do that? Am I busting my ass as a Walt Disney fan? No, I'm a fan of the theme parks, and I'm willing to pay my money for it because I enjoy the experience. But I'm being very critical of Galaxy's Edge based on what I've seen because I don't like what I've seen. Because I'm not bought and paid for by Disney. If I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go somewhere, and I'm going to spend my money. And if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. Because I don't care about all of the perks. I'm a fan. I love Walt Disney World. And I was so happy when we got an announcement of a Star Wars theme park. And I am not happy with what I'm seeing. And I can say that because I'm not bought and paid for by them. But if you want to continue to watch people, listen to people that are going to do this, you have every right to do that. But I think that what Kristian has shown us is that this is a bigger problem with what Disney has done to Star Wars. People are terrified to criticize it because if they criticize it, they're not going to get in there. And Kristian has been somewhat critical of The Last Jedi, somewhat critical of some of the decisions, not full-fledged, not at all. So anyway, very disappointing. I still wish Kristian and Collider the best of luck. If they want to have a conversation with me in private, I'm here. But if you just ignore me and then you want to get online and preach it about how people ignore you, so F them, I'm going to remember that. Again, I sat on these receipts for over a year. I didn't even think about it until I saw you say that. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you just say because someone did not respond to you that therefore F them? Man. I mean, if that was my mentality, I mean, there's thousands of people in my inbox that could be like, F Jeremy, he didn't respond to my message? Wow. Unbelievable. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.